Okay, so Vic Fangio praised this one defensive player on Monday and low key called him out on Tuesday. Meanwhile, we got our first Ty Robinson sighting, some good and some bad, including a welcome to the NFL moment with Jordan Mailata. So much to break down, including how Fangio feels about the depth at pass rusher. Plus, is it time to bring in another safety with this injury? And on the first day with full pads, Jihaad Campbell shows his chippiness as he throws Goedert to the floor. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike. This is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you rock with our Philadelphia Eagles, hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So it's been a very busy 2 days for the Philadelphia Eagles as Monday's practice had shell pads on, but Tuesday's practice, they were officially back in full pads. And you can tell because things ramped up big time, especially on the defensive side of the ball. For example, Brandon Lee Goudert tweeted, Jihaad Campbell sniffed out a short throw to Dallas Goedert to blow up the tight end as soon as the ball got to him. Actually knocked Goddard to the ground, which he apologized for. Eagles have pads on, but starters aren't live tackling. This is why I love pads on in football because it's going to get chippy. And it's even better when you see a young guy bringing that chippiness, bringing the edge. Jihaad Campbell is a dog, and the NFL is going to learn the hard way that he should have been a top 12 pick, but somehow fell to the Eagles at 31. As for an injury update, Devontae Smith didn't practice today with back tightness. Zach Bond missed too, but they just labeled it as rest. As for Andrew Nakobe, the rookie safety, it's not looking good. He missed Monday and Tuesday practice after getting hurt at the end of Saturday's practice. As for Joe Casper, he might need a pay raise ASAP if he's going to be the only guy out there being tackled by multiple Eagle players when they are doing the live tackling drills. A lot of other assistants and defensive staff member out there, none being tackled. So shout out to Joe Casper for getting these guys right. Flipping things back to Andrew Nakobe, if he is going to continue to miss time, well, then it's only Cindy Brown left as it pertains to a possible starter alongside Reed Blankenship. So you might have to call up Justin Simmons, who's been waiting for the Eagles to call him all offseason. I was okay when we knew that Cindy Brown and Nakobe would battle for the job, but if one is injured, you gotta bring in competition. Speaking of competition, I know a lot of people are down on Kelee Ringo as he continues to struggle. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to see a whole training camp. However, Vic Fangio had some good things to say about Adoree Jackson on Monday's practice, but the start of Tuesday practice, he low-key called him out.
Yeah, the first few days out here, he was kind of like he didn't know he was out there. The ball wasn't going his way at all. And then yesterday he had a couple balls thrown his way, and he did very well. He had a very good day yesterday. It's too early to say what his experience is or isn't right now. He's played a good bit of ball, but I think this is the place where he's got to, show who he is and be the player, hopefully, that people have always thought he could be.
So they followed up asking about Adoree Jackson and not playing as well with the Giants and the Titans because who they were. Maybe he'll play better here. This is what Fangio said as he interrupted him.
Yeah, I don't know if I think it's the place. I think it's time for him to show that. He in Tennessee when it came time to re-sign him. After his contract was up, they didn't. The Giants, his contract was up, they didn't. It's time to show who he is or who he isn't.
Pretty much said he's been in the league for a while. He's either going to show us he's about that life or not. And if he doesn't, and Kelee Ringo can't either, then the Eagles could be in trouble because the secondary play on the opposite side is so good as Quinyon Mitchell on Monday shut down A.J. Brown multiple times. Brandon Lee Goudert tweeted, Quinyon Mitchell has been the only Eagles cornerback capable of stopping passes to A.J. Brown this summer. He just broke up a Hurts pass to A.J. Brown over the middle and then picked off Hurts a couple reps later on a downfield throw to A.J. Brown. Now, those two plays were back-to-back pretty much, but there have been other plays all through the summer of Quinyon Mitchell getting a hand on an A.J. Brown target. However, when A.J. Brown gets matched up on any other corner, he eats, minus The rep on Monday, where Adoree Jackson had a nice rep against A.J. Brown too. Also on the go route, Jackson cut off Brown's route and Hurt's throw sailed harmlessly over everyone's head down the field. Jackson also had nice coverage on a back shoulder throw to Terrence Marshall. I'm not sure if Jackson got a hand on it, but he was all over Marshall, making it a very difficult catch that Marshall could not make. Jackson has played Kelee Ringo thus far, according to Brandon Lee Gouton and multiple beat writers. So far, Quinyon Mitchell has been playing on the left and the right. He's low-key been following A.J. Brown when asked to. Kelee Ringo not being able to stay with A.J. Brown is one thing. There's not many receivers like A.J. Brown. But when you hear him getting beat by the Terrence Marshalls and other players, that's when it starts to get worrisome. But it's still early in camp. I'm going to wait till we get more padded practices. Simple and plain. Quick update though, Terrence Marshall Jr. got hurt today at practice, walked into the blue tent, never really came back out, which stinks simply because he was starting to make some noise. Him, Elijah Cooks, these were guys who were showing up, maybe even a little bit more than Jahan Dotson, although maybe the wide receivers are getting more opportunity because the Eagles already know who Jahan Dotson is. That being said, prayers in the chat for Terrence Marshall Jr. Hopefully he's all right. Moving on to the defensive line pressure that's been there the last 2 days. Monday, Ojomo and Ty Robinson made some noise. On Ojomo's first rep, he beat Landon Dickerson to the outside with a nice speed move. On the next rep, immediately thereafter, again against Dickerson, Ojomo slammed into Dickerson's chest with an authority on a bull rush. Dickerson got knocked back initially, but was able to recover, but Ojomo took it to the three-time Pro Bowler. Brandon Lee Gouton stated that Ojomo's highlights weren't limited to one-on-ones. He was disruptive all day and 11 on 11 as well, as he's been for the entirety of camp so far. He's definitely had at least one sack, beaten Steen, and it looked like he may have had a second sack, but Brandon Lee Gouton's vantage point wasn't that great on that play. It's early, but he very much looks like a player ready to take on a bigger role, and he was straight up asked, what is the difference early on in camp from this year than previous years?
Yeah, I think just starting out, having more reps than I'm used to, and getting acclimated to that and kind of just getting used to being on the field more.
He's not just getting a lot of snaps due to the fact that Jalen Carter is limited. He's getting them snaps because he earned them and continues to show why he needs to be on the field. As for the rookie Ty Robinson, he beat Laken Velaki twice with a couple of cross chop moves. Laken V isn't exactly Lane Johnson, but Robinson looked athletic and like he has a pass rush plan. Although he did low key have a welcome to the NFL, if you can get a welcome to the NFL moment in practice. Ty Robinson may have gotten one when getting matched up with Jordan Mailata after some games up front. Mailata stood the rookie up, and Robinson was unable to disengage for at least 5 seconds. Later, Robertson got an earful from defensive line coach Clint Hurt after failing to hustle to the football. This was Monday, and today they asked Ty Robinson if he had any moments like that, and he mentions going up against the two beasts.
Yeah, I mean, I play mostly on the right side, so getting hit by Landon and Jordan, those are some strong guys, right? And I'm used to not really having be engaged, but I mean, usually I can get my way off a block, and those guys are holding on pretty well. So you're having to learn how to be even more detailed and tactical on how to get off a block and how to be more violent and using that leverage to my advantage.
Again, as he learns better technique, his natural strength and athleticism will show. And going against Landon Dickerson and Jordan Mailata is only going to get you better. Ty Robinson will be part of the defensive rotation for the Eagles during the season. Maybe not right away, but as the season goes on, he's going to eat too. As for the edge rushers, Vic Fangio was asked about it, and he said he loves what Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith provides, but he's not so sure about the other guys yet.
I feel good about Nolan, and Jalix is making good strides. After that, we got some heavy competition going on. And, nobody's really truly surfaced yet, good or bad. Hopefully over the course of this camp and preseason games, that will play itself out.
Well, maybe that's all they needed to hear because Azeez Ojulari was active on Monday and Josh Uche was active on Tuesday. and in the backfield quite a bit today. He had at least one sack, maybe two. He did most of his damage against second team right tackle Darian Kinnard. He got into the backfield very quickly on one of his pressures around the edge. We'll see what else we hear about Joshua Uche and Azeez Ojulari. However, they've said Joshua Uche has been more impressive than Azeez Ojulari. But again, we're talking about day two, actually 1.5 in pads. We gotta relax. I do want to talk about this though. Look at Nakobe Dean out here working in the heat, doesn't have to practice because of the injury and being on the pup list. But he's showing all signs that when his time comes to practice, he's gonna be able to. I love seeing this. Once again, today's practice on Tuesday was the first padded one. There's a lot more stuff we got to talk about. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., some underrated people that are not getting love have been showing out Monday and Tuesday. More stories are starting to come out. I was only able to record half this video now. Half I'm going to do later today. So we'll put it in like a two-part video, Monday and Tuesday, a little on Tuesday, to finishing up on Tuesday on Wednesday morning, as tomorrow's practice is closed, but a lot to talk about. We're going to have to make some videos on individuals too, and not just whole days, because there are some down parts, but there are some good parts thus far to the Eagles training camp 2025 season, including Jalen Hurts, the things he said today, and his practice, although a lot of flags on Tuesday, maybe due to the heat. When he was on, he was on. We'll talk about that tomorrow too. Beware for the lives and the videos. I love y'all. Drop your comments. I love hearing from y'all. Some of your comments inspire future videos, so keep commenting. Shout out to Cooper DeJean as a rookie being the 60th best player. Until next time, you know what time it is. We out.